Welcome to Constitutional Chisme.
A law buddy's guide to the legal basics. I'm your host, Stephanie.
And I'm your co host, Harleigh.
Every week, we will drop an episode that you'll likely cover your first year in law school or some other bar course in your law school journey. Make sure you pay close attention to our podcast because we will drop Easter eggs of what case we plan to drop next week. See if you can guess which one.
This episode is sponsored by Belmonte, a skincare and lifestyle brand centered around the reminder to stay still, grounded, and present. We also want to thank Kaplan Bar Prep for partnering with us. We'd like to give a special shout out to Sylvia, Sergio, and Keeve. These were the winners of our Kaplan Bar Prep giveaway, with Keeve being a bonus as a wonderful gift given from Kaplan. So, congratulations to our winners and congratulations to Keeve. If you did not win the giveaway, but you or someone you know wants to use Kaplan Bar Prep, make sure to use our code PASSWITHPONZ. That's PASSWITHPONZ to save an additional $100 off your course. And that stacks on top of any other promotion that Kaplan may be running at the time.
If you're anyone you know is going to take Kaplan as the bar prep course, tell them to use the code because if we get enough traction, we might be able to give out more free bar prep on the next cycle. So, anyone you know, tell them to use our code so we can hopefully give away more bar prep.
Because what is $100 off in the face of free? Free.
Oh, I thought you said 3. I was like, well, no, I
Well,
mean,
no,
I don't
that's
know.
that's not how that works.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, okay. The math is mathing again.
The math is mathing. You can also check out our link tree in the show notes. That's where you can find links to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. You can also access our Amazon storefront featuring our favorite law school and bar prep essentials. There's also a link for you to join our. Can
Who is
everybody
doing
shut the
that?
hell up?
Fuck.
We can't even get through the intro of this fuck ass podcast.
I'm keeping that part in.
Between my husband deciding to bang every pot and pan we own together, my
Which is not that
dog
many,
throwing
y'all.
her entire body weight at the door, and the cat shoving his head under the door to scream, will I ever finish plugging our Patreon?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
I can't wait to leave that part in.
Please don't. Podcast intro for this fucking podcast. Okay. It's going to be so funny because I put on like my full customer service voice to do the like Patreon plug, and then all of a sudden it's the fuck ass intro. Oh my god. Okay. What was it? Oh, you can also find a link to Okay. You can also find a link to join our Patreon community for even more content and to support the podcast.
All right. I do want to do a little quick plug before we get started on the case, Harleigh. So, Harleigh, you remember one of our close friends from law school, Dell.
Yes, love Dell.
He drove 2 to 3 hours a day, depending on traffic, from Oklahoma to Arkansas just to attend law school while having an entire family, and his wife is a teacher. And I don't know how he did that because I only have dogs and I was fighting for my life and I live 5 minutes away. So
Yeah, fighting for my life every single day. And on top of that, like, Dell wasn't just showing up, like, Dell was actually standing out. Dell knew what he was talking about. Dell is one of
Mhm.
the smartest people I've ever met.
He's so humble, kind, super smart,
Yes.
really awesome. He was going to take the bar. His wife got pregnant and he was very excited. Um, and so he had to defer. And thank God he did because the baby was due, I think, like right before the bar exam, if not right after. Came a whole month early.
Oh my god, I did not know
Yeah.
that.
And he was still big. Like, he was a big baby. He is turning 1. And, He's a size 24 months.
Whoa.
I'm
Healthy
talking
boy.
big, baby. Yeah.
That's their first son too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they have 2 girls, their first son. Unfortunately for Dell, he was recently let go from his job. They're downsizing and they needed to make some cuts. And unfortunately, he was one of the people that got cut. That being said, his son's first birthday is coming up literally next week, and his daughter's birthday is also next week. So the way that Legally Ponzaneli podcast wanted to kind of help out and the way we thought would be helpful um, is I created an Amazon wish list that
Because
has the
Stephanie loves an Amazon wish list.
and I do, and I will be having mine on there as well. Okay,
Of
I
course, of
will.
course.
You can pick which one. I don't even care. That you support. Like I'm fine with either. So,
You can help out children in need, or
or
you
an
can donate
adult
to
in
Dell.
need. Yeah. So, um, on the Amazon wish list, I kinda had to pry. He doesn't know we're doing this, so this is a surprise. Everything's gonna be shipped directly to his home, and it's gonna be shipped to Finley, which is the baby's name. I thought that would be cute.
That is
Um,
super cute.
so I went ahead and made the wish list with the few things that Dell would tell me because he knows how I am, and so he knows that I would probably do something. So, I put on there the only things he asked for, which was baby wipes and diapers. And his daughter really likes fanny packs, and this is her first year ever going to church camp. She doesn't have anything for church camp. So he asked for some luggage for her. That's it. And of course, we're going to do better because we can. And I know we can. So I put diapers, I put wipes, I put baby clothes, I put some baby toys. I am not a mother of children, like real children. I have dogs, that's it. So I also made this Amazon wish list to where if you're like, okay, this 1 year old and this 12-year old could also really love this gift, you can send that. I just put what I thought a child turning 1 and a 12-year-old would like, so please bear with me. Um, but his little girl does love Sailor Moon.
Stop. I love Sailor Moon. That's so cute.
Yeah, so there was pajamas, there's a little backpack, and I put on there, like, luggage for her to take to church camp, so if you can spare anything. It's not very expensive. I tried to do everything that's affordable. I think I even have items for $2, like single white packs, baby white packs. If that's all you can do, whatever we can do to help, I would love for Legally Ponzanelli podcast viewers to show some love and support to them. The address will not be disclosed. Thank you, Amazon wishlist. It will just be directly shipped to them. So, like I said, if you want to add something different that's not on there, please feel free to do so. And
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just going to be a lot of fun to still have these kids have a really fun, special birthday
mhm,
because every kid deserves to have a fun birthday, regardless of what's happening in the world around them.
mhm.
You still deserve to have that kind of joy. And I know that, like, a 1-year-old's not really going to remember their birthday, their first birthday, but a 12-year-old
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And it's gonna I don't know, and it'll take a lot of pressure off Dell and his wife, and they have had enough pressure the last 3, 4
Yeah.
years getting through law school,
Yeah.
taking care of children.
And deferring, having the baby, a newborn, and now, um, he'll be a year old, which is really cool. So, yeah, if you could spare some change and send them something,
Fair
please.
change,
Yeah.
fair change.
If you could do that, it would be greatly appreciated. We are so excited to hopefully get this wish list cleared out. All right, so what's the case we got? I don't know anything about it.
So, this was really a case that was requested by a listener, and
Ooh,
I don't think that we read this case. It's a contracts case, spoiler
okay.
warning. Um, but I don't think that this is one that we read in law school in our contracts class. We read one kind of similar, but we did
Mhm,
not read this exact case. And let me just say, it's kind of crazy. I kind of wish we had read this one. It was a lot of fun researching this one.
mhm. What's
So
it
this
called?
is Carlill versus Carbolic Smoke.
Carlisle? Like, Twilight?
I can't tell if it's Carlisle or Carlill.
Okay,
Carlill?
babe.
I think it's Carlill.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like
I
the
don't know what that
Twilight
was.
sound. That was the Twilight music.
That did not sound like it. I thought you were in pain.
We're in pain. It was kind of giving Howling Cat, but you know what? I got signed by John Legend and you didn't, so maybe
Dude, did you know he's coming to Arkansas, like, actually?
yes, because he's coming to see me. Stop playing.
I saw that, I was like, "That's so funny." I think he's going to the casino.
Why the casino? That's so random.
I don't know.
He's like Bruno Mars. He like owes a bunch of debt and he's got to pay it off.
It's hard out here, girl.
It's hard out here. Okay. So the Carbolic Smoke Ball Company made this product called a smoke ball.
Ooh.
And they claimed that it would be a cure all. So it was supposed to be able to cure influenza and a bunch of other sort of respiratory based diseases.
Oh, like the lady who claimed that, like, her blood testing machine would fix cancer? Do you remember that? Did you see that? Or was it a pill? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought about the haunted hotel in Eureka Springs.
Mhm. I've never
That's the
driven by it. I'm scared.
I want to stay in it so bad. It's called the Crescent Hotel and it's supposedly haunted partially because there was a guy there who claimed he had the cure for cancer, and it was basically just injecting people with, like, this weird mixture of, um I think it's maybe it's just because this has carbolic in it and it's overriding my brain, but I think it was, like, carbolic acid, watermelon seeds. He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna cure cancer," and it didn't, it just killed a lot of people.
Oh my god, like the one where the lady would do enemas every like 6 times a day and only drink juice?
Wait, yes, I do remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's basically this. They're like
Oh,
and
no
this is
way.
so and that this is happening at the same time as the 1890 pandemic, the influenza
But
pandemic.
this is in the 1800s? Like,
Yes, sorry, I
the
should have said
cases?
that at the
Okay.
top. Yeah,
It's
so
like,
this is
"Whoa."
taking place in 1890.
Okay.
1889, 1890 is when they start selling this smoke ball. So that's during the time that the 1890 pandemic was going around, and
Why
at the
is it
time
called
it was
smoke ball?
we're gonna get there.
Okay, okay, my bad.
We're
Go
gonna
on.
get there. So, at the time, this pandemic had killed roughly 1,000,000 people
Eh,
in I believe in the UK, because this is a UK case, which is why we didn't read it. This is an English case.
I think I've seen this film before, and
And
I
I
didn't
didn't
like
like it.
the ending. I hate a
So,
pandemic.
I hate a pandemic. And funny enough, they believe that this one was caused by a variation of a coronavirus.
No way.
Yes.
Oh
It
my
was either
god.
a
Okay.
form of influenza or coronavirus, one of the 2.
That's okay.
So, the smoke ball was this little rubber ball
Mhm.
with a tube attached,
Okay.
and it was filled with carbolic acid, same thing the guy in Eureka Springs was using as a cancer cure-all. It's now known as
What is that?
phenol.
Like an acid? Like, does that burn you? I don't think I really understand what that is.
Carbolic acid is highly acidic. It now goes by the name phenol.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's defined as an acid that is highly caustic. It's white crystalline solid that is volatile and possesses a sickeningly sweet tarry odor.
Eh,
And it is corrosive, extremely toxic, and can cause severe chemical burns and systemic poisoning. It absorbs rapidly through the skin, meaning even small exposures can lead to life threatening complications like nervous system failure, organ damage, and heart issues. Hold on to that.
okay, okay. So we have a ball of it in with a tube. right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
ball of carbolic acid, and then you would put that tube into your nose
No.
and squeeze the ball so that the vapors would go into your nose, so you would breathe in the vapors.
Oh, good thing it's really, like, easy to absorb, right?
Yeah, good thing that it's, like, super easy to absorb, and you're just breathing it straight in. So, in November of 1891, the company decided that they were gonna, like, really push this product, and so
Mhm.
they started running advertisements in the Pall Mall Gazette and other similar newspapers, stating that
Okay.
they would pay £100 to anyone who used their product according to the instructions
And
and
survive.
got influenza. They said, "If you use our product and then you get influenza, we will pay you £100."
But if they're dead, like, you don't have to pay them, right?
Exactly! No, hold on.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing, though, and
Mhm.
this was one of the last things I decided to look up.
Uh-huh.
So, £100 in 1891
Mhm.
would be roughly £16,000 in today's money,
Mhm.
which is 22,000 US dollars.
Give me one of those.
Give me hand me the ball. I'm
Hand me a
sniffing
few
the
more.
heck out of those vapors, and then
Let
I'm
me get my
touching
student
somebody with the
loan
flu.
out of here.
Outta here. So, the actual advertisement read, £100 reward will be paid by the Carbolic Smoke Ball Company to any person who contracts the increasing epidemic influenza, colds, or any diseases caused by taking cold after having used the carbolic smoke ball according to the printed directions supplied with each ball. £1,000 is deposited with the Alliance Bank, Regent Street, showing our sincerity in the matter. Okay.
How much?
So, and then it continued on. During the last epidemic of influenza, many thousand carbolic smoke balls were sold as preventatives against the disease. And in no ascertained case was the disease contracted by those using the carbolic smoke ball. One carbolic smoke ball will last a family several months, making it the cheapest remedy in the world. 10 shilling post free. The ball can be refilled when empty at a cost of 5 shilling. And then it gave the address for the company.
Okay. How much is a shilling in today's money?
So the shilling doesn't exist anymore. It got permanently converted to the pence, but there were 20 shillings in £1.
So, like, a
So this is
dollar?
equivalent to like 5 cents.
Oh, wow.
So it cost roughly 5 cents to refill it
Uh-huh.
and roughly 10 cents to buy it in the first place.
Okay.
So Louisa Elizabeth Carlill saw the advertisement
Mhm.
and she said, "It sounds like a dope investment." And she bought one.
Mhm.
So she used this thing 3 times daily
The ball? Like,
for
you
2 months. Yep,
is it is that the instructions?
that's the instructions, 3 times daily.
And she was like, "I hope I don't get influenza."
And she got the flu on
Bro,
January 17th,
wait, how do you
1892.
prove?
I
Like,
don't
how do you
actually
prove it?
know.
You know, because
I
I could
don't
what if I
actually
just said
know.
I did? You know, like, I have been doing this. Like, could you just buy it and toss it and be like, "I got the flu, y'all."
So we're gonna get into that.
Oh.
So she claimed that the Carbolic Smoke Ball Company owed her £100.
Mhm.
Her husband was a solicitor, so
A lawyer.
a lawyer, and he sent 2 letters, said, "Give me my money. Give my wife her money." So the third time, Carbolic replied with an anonymous letter
What?
that if it is used properly, the company
Uh-huh.
had complete confidence in the smoke ball's efficacy. But to protect themselves against all fraudulent claims, they would need her to come to the office and use the ball every day in front of their secretary.
For how long? And what a scam.
What a scam. So she sued for breach of contract.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So she made the argument that the advertisement and then her subsequent reliance on that
Mhm.
advertisement amounted to a binding contract between her and the company. And the
Yeah.
company should now have to pay her the promised £100.
Yeah.
The company argued they had made no legally binding offer which was capable of acceptance, and thus there couldn't be a contract.
But that's not how that works. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let you explain this. Okay.
Because remember, there are certain instances where a company can promise something and the court will go, "You believed
You
that?"
Yeah, like the airplane case you were talking about?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So the Carbolic Smoke Ball Company was represented by H. 8 Asquith. Asquith? Asquith?
Asquith?
Asquith. Asquith.
I think it's Asquith.
I don't know how to say this man's name, and I probably should because
I
spoiler alert, he goes on to become the prime minister.
Bro, you're gonna get read for filth later.
He was a prime minister in the 1900s. What am I supposed to do? The early 1900s.
Weren't you born in the 1900s? Like, stop
Weren't you
acting
born
crazy.
in the 1900s? Go
Yeah.
easy there. Go easy.
The same year as you.
So, this went before what is called in England the Queen's Bench. So, they lost at the Queen's Bench. So, they appealed the decision.
Wait, can I ask
Uh,
a quick question?
mhm.
The queen actually could could have a court hearing?
No, so she doesn't actually go over it. It's
Oh.
just what it's called.
I was like, "Wait,
Actu
when did they start becoming judges and attorneys?"
When
Like, they
did
forgot.
they start? Okay, so if you wanna put this in for some extra information.
Yeah.
So, the King's Bench Division or Queen's Bench Division when the monarch is female hears appeals from law from the magistrate courts and from the crown court.
Mm,
So they're kinda like an intermediate court of appeal. So I think that this would be most analogous to, like, the circuits.
okay.
They're not the, like, first route. The first route would be a magistrate's court or the crown court.
Mhm.
Then it goes to the king's bench or the queen's bench, depending on who the monarch is, and then ultimately up to either the court of appeal or the Supreme Court for criminal stuff.
Okay.
So, irrelevant if you are in law school in America, but fun facts
Yeah.
nevertheless.
Yeah.
So, it goes up to the court of appeal, which is essentially analogous to the Supreme Court in the United States.
Mhm.
And the court of appeal unanimously rejected the company's argument and
Okay.
held that they did make a binding contract with Carlill.
Okay,
And
good.
among the reasons given by the three judges were one, that the advertisement was not a unilateral invitation to treat all of the world, but rather an offer restricted to those who acted upon terms set out in the advertisement.
Uh-huh.
Two, that satisfying the stated conditions for using the smoke ball constituted acceptance of the offer.
Mhm.
So it's not enough that somebody goes out and buys it. They put in the effort of saying you have to follow the directions. You have to use it as intended.
Yeah.
Three, the purchasing or merely using the smoke ball constituted good consideration because it was a distinct detriment incurred at the behest of the company. And furthermore, more people buying smoke balls by relying on the advertisement was a clear benefit to Carbolic.
Yeah.
So you're making more money because you ran these advertisements.
Yeah.
And finally, and this is the one that the court put the most weight on, the company's claim that £1,000 was deposited at Alliance Bank showed the serious intention to be legally bound. So the fact that they specifically stated we've put aside $1,000 to pay out claims of this nature
Okay.
shows
Shows
that
that they
they intended to pay out should someone meet these requirements.
did they actually do that? Did they actually put it in a bank or were they
Yes,
lying? Oh, okay. Oh, they did.
they
Okay, well,
did.
yeah.
As far as I can tell, they actually did.
Well, at least they had the money to pay.
So, one of the big principles of contract law is you have to have offer acceptance consideration.
Mhm,
So, one party has to offer something to the other. I give you
mhm,
this for this.
mhm,
The party has to then accept the offer,
mhm.
and there has to be consideration, which means that both parties have to
Bargain for exchange.
bargain for exchange. They have to both benefit or be in detriment
Mhm,
in order for it to work. So essentially, what the Court of Appeals says here is all of those things were present. They made an offer that if you use our product in this very, very specific way, and then you get the flu,
mhm,
we will pay you £100.
mhm.
Once Carlill went out and bought the smoke ball, she accepted the offer.
Yeah.
And the consideration came from the fact that she actually, to her detriment, spent money and used the ball as intended, taking time out of her day to do this
Mhm.
treatment 3 times a day for 2 months.
3
And
times a day, dang.
I know, breathing carbolic acid, and that's crazy. And she did that for 2 months. So
Okay.
that's the consideration. And then obviously the benefit to Carbolic Smoke Ball Company is the fact that they were selling these things. They were making a profit off of selling these things.
Yeah.
So you have all 3 of the elements. So Lord Justice Lindley wrote the second
Lord Justice.
Lord Justice Lindley wrote the first judgment. So he essentially wrote the majority opinion. He gave the first reading of this case. And he basically broke it down into 5 points. And the first one being that the advertisement was not mere puff, as had been alleged by the company.
Mhm,
So the company tried to make the argument of like, who would believe that we meant this?
mhm,
This was obviously just puffery to make people go buy the product, and any reasonable person would see that.
mhm,
But again, Lindley put a lot of emphasis on the fact that the company had taken the time to make a deposit of £1,000
mhm,
into the bank and then put that in the advertisement. So, second, the advertisement was an offer made specifically to someone who performed the conditions in that advertisement, not not a statement that was made with nobody in particular. Third, communication of acceptance is not necessary for contract when people's conduct manifests an intention to contract with one another. Fourth, the vagueness of the advertisement's term was not insurmountable in his opinion. And fifth, the nature of Carlill's consideration, what she gave in return for the offer, was good because there is both an advantage, like I said, in additional sales in reaction to the advertisement, and a distinct inconvenience that people go to when using a smoke ball.
mhm,
So this wasn't just mere puff,
mhm,
which is language that comes back a lot when talking about advertisements and whether or not they constitute legally binding contracts. Even in American law, we've
mhm,
heard this language before, what's considered puffery versus
mhm,
what's considered a genuine, real offer.
mhm,
So that is what the court decided. They said, yes, this is a legally binding contract. Yes, you owe Carlill this £100
mhm.
and fork it over. That was a legally binding contract.
Fork it over.
Here's where things get a little crazy.
Oh, no, it gets crazy. Okay.
So this is what's funny. Normally this would be where we end the podcast, okay? We gave you what happened, but in
Mhm,
the interest of entertainment,
In the interest
I
of
thought I would
entertainment.
tell you what happens after this.
Perfect.
So they actually no, okay. Actually, let me ask, Stephanie, what do you think would happen to a company like this?
They'd probably get rid of that advertisement. Make them sign an NDA and so they don't let other people know who wanna do this.
On February 25th, 1893, in
Uh-huh.
the Illustrated London News, Rowe, who was the head of the company, put out a new advert
Mhm.
that said many thousand carbolic smoke balls were sold on these advertisements, but only 3 people claimed the reward of £100, thus proving conclusively that this invaluable remedy will prevent and cure the above mentioned diseases. The Carbolic Smoke Company Limited, it's now a limited liability company,
Mhm.
now offers a £200 reward to the person who purchases a carbolic smoke ball and afterwards contracts any of the following diseases.
They said double it.
Go ahead and I had to double
Double
it.
it. No way.
So
They
all they
said
did, they went and they turned it into a limited liability company because that's the
why
other
would they
thing.
do that? Why would they do that?
Because one of the arguments that they made was that it was an undue burden because Carbolic Smoke Ball Company was not a limited liability company, which meant that Roe was personally on the hook for anybody who came forward claiming that he owed them £100.
Mhm.
And then when only 3 people came forward, he went, okay, lesson learned. We're a limited liability company now. Do it again.
Do it again. Run it
Run it
back.
back. So, however, this time, the small print of the advertisement
Mhm.
put some more restrictions on it.
You have to use it for the rest of your life, and then you can claim.
You only have a 3-month period to use the ball and claim your reward.
Oh,
So, if you don't claim it within 3 months after purchase
after
and
which
all that
purchase,
jazz.
though? Like,
Exactly.
the last one where you also, did her husband represent her, or did they hire out?
I don't actually know. The only the only explicit person who was named as counsel
Uh-huh.
was H. Asquith, whatever his name is.
Asquith.
And the only reason he was named is because he did eventually go on to become Prime Minister of the UK.
Okay, okay.
So, however, by 1895, the company fell on hard times and it had to be wound down in 1896.
What? What happened? Don't tell me people kept dying from it. Spoiler alert.
Louisa Carlill lived to be 96 years old.
So that thing worked.
She died on March 10th, 1942, with 2 causes of death being noted:
What?
old age
Well, yeah.
and influenza.
No! She really said, "Till death do we part."
She said, "Watch this. Y'all wanna see something so funny?
Let me do a flip.
Do a flip." So, in all serious, wrapping it up now, for
Mhm,
real, the issue here is whether the language in defendant's advertisement giving the carbolic smoke ball regarding the £100 reward was meant to be an express promise or was just merely puff, meaning it
mhm,
had no meaning.
mhm,
And the court held that in the case of vague advertisements, language regarding payment of a reward is generally just puffery and it
mhm,
is not enforceable. However,
mhm,
because there was that deposit of £100 noted in the advertisement as a show of sincerity, their offer to reward, sorry, their offer to reward was found to be a promise that was backed
mhm,
by their own sincerity. And so essentially, the rule that gets pulled from this case is an advertising gimmick can be considered an express contractual promise to pay if it is more than mere puff.
Okay.
And that's
I
the
wonder what
case of Carlill versus Carbolic Smoke Ball.
how would it work since you said they became a limited liability company? That just meant that they could sue the company rather than the person himself, right? So if someone else sued, it would just affect the company and not go into anyone's pockets if they went bankrupt.
Yes, precisely. It basically means that anyone who is behind the company would be shielded from
Okay.
liability of anything that happens with the company. So if somebody sued for this exact purpose again,
Hmm.
or for any other complications that arose from, I don't know, breathing carbolic acid, any money
Yeah,
from the payout would come from the company itself or any insurance payouts for the company itself. And it wouldn't have to come out of the pockets of the
the
partners
person.
themselves.
Mm, that is wild.
Yeah, this is a really interesting case. I'm really sad we didn't read it.
I could only imagine how because we had the best contracts professor. She was really, really awesome.
Yeah, we
I
did
could
have
only
an
imagine
amazing
her
contract professor,
going through this case and being like, guys, this is
guys.
ridiculous. Please. I remember when she told us her story of when she got mugged.
Oh
And they were
my
like,
god,
what was he
I
wearing? And
forgot
she
about
was like,
that.
this jacket right here. It's like, that's so iconic.
She was so iconic. She was a lawyer in California for several years. She got mugged in LA, and the way she told the story, I don't know, she was just the most badass lady. Yeah, but shout out to our listener who sent this one in because it's a very interesting case.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know this one. So thank God you read it. Um, okay, so that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I want to give a special thank you to our sponsor, Belmonte, a brand rooted in the reminder to stay still, grounded, and present, even during busy seasons. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and leave us a comment or a review on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. You can follow along on our TikTok at LEGALLYPONZANELI or legally.ponzanelli and Instagram at Legally Ponzanelli Podcast. And if you can't remember that because it was too much to remember, we have a link in the show notes. Click the link tree and we'll have it right there.
And it's all in one fun little place.
Yeah, we made it easy, guys. And because your girl is currently studying for the bar exam again, you'll also find my Amazon wish list in the show notes if you would like to send me a gift so that I don't cry all the time. But I probably will still cry.
I was gonna say, but at least you'll cry with a present.
Yeah. I really, really want the moon lamp. Um, at least I'll cry with the moon lamp. So if you have comments, questions, or if you want to suggest another case for Harleigh to look up and talk about, like this was great, please send it to us. You can either email it to both of us at legallyponzanelli@gmail.com. Harleigh and I both have access to this email. Also, if you would like to support Dell and his family during this season, his Amazon wish list is also going to be linked in the show notes. It's going to be labeled after his children's names, Finley and Lily. So if you'd like to make their birthday special, that's a way to help out.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.